boys and girls. So today's lesson is how to find area. So let's take a little refresher course here and let's talk again a little bit more about what area is. So what is area? So area is the measure of the space inside a shape. So for instance, if you were looking at your math book and I asked you to tell me how much space is this math book taking up on your desk, you would know how to measure it, because what you are going to do is you need to assign units to it, which is what we're doing here. So these little squares here are called units, and you have the equal sized units. These are square units, and you figure out how many is going across and how many is going up and down. So there is a formula that we use when we're doing area, and it is called length times width equals area. So what that means is, instead of having to go and count each and every individual one of these, you are going to count just what is on the length part and what is on the width part, and then you multiply them together, and that total gives you the total area inside. So I've included this little chart into your lesson assignment, so you can refer to that. If you have a chance, you might want to print it out and post it, because we are going to deal a lot with area this year. So, all right, so one of the next things I want to do is, as soon as I can get out of this big slide here, I think I will, there we go, back to the slide. No, that's not it. Okay, let's go ahead and we are going to take a look at what our lesson is going to be for today. And what we are working in today is the area model for multiplication. So take a look here. Area, again, remember the area is what's on the inside. So your lessons for today and your work pages for today and tomorrow is going to be how to count up the area. So again, remember our formula, length times width equals area. So we're going to count each one of these square units, but not every one of them individually. We're not going to count them all up. Oh, goodness, it takes too long. So we're going to count just the length side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we know just the length here is going to be the same as equal to 5 square units. What about the width? Well, in the width, we count starting right up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So our width is 6. So instead of having to count each one of those, we are going to make an equation out of this, and we have our number 5, length, times width, 5 times 6. So remember your 5 count bys. You're going to count 5 6 times, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Good job. So that's nice. Okay. But sometimes we have bigger ones, but for this case, I'm just going to break these into just 2 small parts. And we do what is called distributive property. And that's when we are going to take a really big area or a number, so that we can break it into smaller chunks to make it easier for us to do the multiplication and the addition for it. So again, length times width, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now it's 5. But let's check what it is for our width. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we have 4 across here. All right, so we've taken this and we have now divided it into this and this. So now we have to figure this one out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that one is 5. And 1, 2, and that one is 2. So we have now taken this one big equation and we have put it into 2 smaller equations. So now we have a 5 length times 4. And we can figure that out is we're going to count 5 4 times, 5, 10, 15, 20. And then we have 5 times 2, 2. And so we count by 5s 2 times, 5, 10. Okay? And now we're going to take this number and this number, and we are going to add them together. So 20 plus 10. And so what is 20 plus 10? Well, again, we got our count by, so we've got 10, 20, and one more is 30. All right, so that is a simple way to do that, and I want to go ahead and we're going to keep going here, because what they're going to ask you here is to make a rectangle drawing to represent the problem. Sometimes you're going to take the numbers and now you want to turn them into a drawing so that you can find the product. All right, so it's asking us to do 5 length times width. So again, we are going to turn this into to 5, which means we actually go across this way. There's 5, 1, 2, 3. They're very uneven. Yours should be even on your square units. And then by 3, so there's 1 and 2. So we know there's 5 going up and 3 going across, length times width. So 5 times 3. And again, we use our 5 count bys. We're going to count 5 3 times, 5, 10, 15. Eventually, what you want to be doing is memorizing all of these multiplication facts. Let's see how well we did. We did. See, we divided it correctly. Length times width equals 5. Okay. So that is your work for today, and tomorrow we're going to work more on the distributive property facts. Stop in at my office hours if you've got any questions.